happy almost weekend. It's actually Friday morning, but before I jump into work today, I thought I would give you a little look at what I'm reading this weekend. I'm gonna get an early start on my reading tonight, and I'm excited. The first book I'm currently reading is Revolting Prostitutes, The Fight for Sex Workers' Rights by Molly Smith and Juno Mack. And this book is absolutely incredible. It is all about the argument for decriminalizing sex work around the world, and it takes a look at every single country in the world, their current laws and practices involving sex work, how they work, how they really don't work, and why we need to decriminalize it. And it's wonderful. I'm reading this on Kindle right now. Usually when I read on Kindle, I'll highlight like 1 or 2 lines that I find really insightful or interesting. And this book, I think I currently have like 20 something things highlighted. There's so much to unpack here. It's very dense. And so I think I'm probably gonna end up doing a whole video about it because really, truly, there's so much to talk about, but hopefully gonna finish this tonight. And then after I do that, I think I'm gonna pick up Legendborn, which is a highly hyped I don't know if it's YA or new adult or adult. I think it's YA fantasy. That's an Arthur retelling that everyone just loves. So I'm excited to finally pick that up. But yeah, I'm gonna hop into work. I will see you later for some reading, for some more updates. Let's do it. Okay, real talk. I have plans to hang out and read all night. I'm just so exhausted from work, y'all. It was a long day. Zoom fatigue is real and my brain is numb and cannot work. So I think tonight is gonna be vegging out and honestly probably watching a lot of Say Yes to the Dress. Because sometimes that's what you need to do on a Friday night. So yeah, probably reading tomorrow. Saturday. I ended up reading a little bit of Revolting Prostitutes last night, and then I finished it this morning, and it was amazing. I really want everyone to read this book. I think that if you read Hood Feminism and you really love this is the perfect next book on your list to read. I loved that it was structured, so it went from criminalization of sex workers and gave examples of countries where that's happening, why it obviously doesn't work. Then it went into the legalization of sex workers, looked at those countries' policies and said why it doesn't work. And then finally went to the decriminalization of sex workers, looked at those countries and how it mostly works, but still needs some work to actually make effective change for sex workers around the world. And I learned so much. I think I said this yesterday, but I think I highlighted now maybe like 30 different lines. I have so much to say, so I'm gonna make a whole separate video on it because I mean, there's so much to unpack, so many important messages to be shared, and I think it's a topic that, I don't know, I haven't seen talked about on here. So there was one thing about this book that I didn't love, and that was the gender representation in the book. The trans community was represented, which was great and very, very important for this issue. But a lot of the language was binary gendered, so a lot of times when they talked about clients, they said men, and when they talked about sex workers, they said women. And I don't know if that was just like for clarity, to make it easier to write, but I think it is very important to recognize that that's not always the case, and that gender, 1, is just not binary. 2, there can be female clients and male sex workers. So I wish that they touched on that more, especially male sex workers. I think that would have been really important, but a great start. I'm gonna post a video about it later, so look out for that. I'll keep you updated on what I want to read next. Haven't fully decided yet, so So after a little break of reading, I've decided to pick up a short story actually that comes out on February 2nd. And this short story is part of a series that Interlude Press is doing next month called the Come What May series. Each one of the short stories will be an ebook, and this one comes out on the 2nd. And this is Girl with a Pearl Earring by Rudy Foster, who is one of my favorite authors. So I'm so excited to read their new short story, and I'm gonna do that now. I finished it. It was such a quick and lovely read. Every time I read one of Foster's short stories, it feels like coming home for some reason. There's just something about the way they write characters that's so real and so raw and beautiful, and all the relationships are lovely. This one really explored kind of perception, how you present yourself to the world, and your assumptions about other people, as well as recognizing that people are different. It really explores the idea of kind of trying to be like someone you really love and care about, and shaping your own identity into theirs when really you're two separate people, and that's what makes you beautiful together. And I thought that was a really lovely sentiment. So definitely check out this short story series that Interlude Press is having this month. I'm sure the rest of the stories are just as brilliant and lovely. Can't recommend enough. A great little read for any day that you need a little literary hug. Okay, so I just finished participating in a reading sprint, which made me pick up a Legendborn, which I've been wanting to pick up for a while because it's just been getting such high praise. This is a YA fantasy that is based on Arthurian legend. It's about a girl who loses her mom in a tragic accident, and shortly after she goes to like a college prep school, boarding school situation, and things happen. You know, there's like some things she's seen that other people can't, and there's the secret society. And yes, it's good so far. I thought the prologue was absolutely brilliant. I really loved the writing. I thought it was beautiful, and I think this is going to talk about grief in a really beautiful way. So far, the rest of the storyline's pretty standard YA situation, but I'm not hating it. I know it gets better, so I've heard. Something that's driving me up a wall, and I don't know if this is intentional or not, but all the characters for some reason have nicknames. Like every time a new character is introduced, it's like, hi, my name's Shannon, but my friends call me Shay. Every time, without fail. I think there's one character introduced that didn't have a nickname. Like, why? I don't understand. I don't get it. Maybe there's a reason that I haven't learned yet, but if there's not a reason, I'm gonna be upset about that. Now I am going to my partner's restaurant, the one that he works at, and I'm gonna take some photos for them. And I don't know what we're gonna do the rest of the day, but we're gonna find out. Happy Sunday! So I just did some reading this morning, and it looks like there's going to be a lot of reading in my future today because it's a blizzard outside. And I'm about 45% way through Legendborn, and I'm really liking it. It's so much fun and just kind of like a perfect escape right now. And I really love how the world is building on top of each other, and it's becoming more and more complex as the book goes on, and I really hope it continues to do that. I'm loving the school setting. The characters are really interesting. I love that a main character in a fantasy novel is going to a therapist. part of it's plot related, but it's just nice to see that. And I love the exploration of grief and of heritage and of family history. It's all really good so far. So it's been a super relaxing day, just playing outside and watching movies and TV. And I made it through 70% of Legendborn, and I'm still really liking it. I like where the story is headed. I can't wait for like a big twist to come. I'm still kind of waiting for that. And I like all the characters. I like all the relationships. The romance is a little like insta-lovey for me, but I think there might be a love triangle, which I'm kind of here for. And I hope that the best friend isn't just kind of disappear from the story, because I really like her. Okay, so it's Monday morning, and I stayed up way too late finishing Legendborn last night. I can't remember the last time I just couldn't wait to finish a book and just had to stay up and finish it before I could sleep, and that was definitely it. I really, really liked it. I loved all the characters. I thought the world building was absolutely spectacular. I thought that it had great commentary on ancestry, on colonialism, on race, and I can't wait to see what else this has to say and like where it's going. River, what are you doing? Come here. Drop it. Drop it. Shh. Hi. Sorry, River has her loudest toy out right now. I can't wait to see where it's going in that regard. I think it has so much to say. I thought the beginning and the ending were absolutely brilliant. I thought the narrative structure really was great in telling a complete story within one book that is still a series, which was really nice. And I think the world is going to get larger and bigger. I loved all the characters, especially Alice, her best friend, and their friendship. I thought was a great representation to have, especially in a YA book, as well as just all the diversity in general in this book. I thought it was pretty effortless. It didn't seem forced, and it was great to see throughout the book. And again, kind of here for the love triangle. I always am in YA books. To be honest, I know it's a controversial opinion, but I love the extra drama. And I really love Sal's character a lot, and I can't wait to see how his character grows and where that relationship goes. There were a few problems, not huge problems, but problems like just small things in the book that happened in the plot where I was like, okay, we're not gonna explain that. We're just gonna let that happen. You know, just little things like that that bothered me just a little bit, but not enough to really ruin the enjoyment of the book. So I ended up giving it 4.75 out of 5 stars. But I mean, I'm in love with it and cannot wait for the second book. It needs to come out tomorrow. That would be ideal. But I hope you all have a beautiful day, a wonderful week, and I will see you all next weekend. Bye.